Well, plans to reopen schools in New York State will likely be finalized this week. Governor Andrew Cuomo previously directed school districts to create a reopening plan. Many districts locally have reached out to parents to get their input on whether schools should reopen in person. Jamestown Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Kevin Whitaker says there are several scenarios part of his plan, including preparing for a second wave of COVID infections.
Governor Cuomo announced some metrics that schools, or I should say regions, the state regions should use. And it's, in one case, it's a 14-day average. In another case, it's a 5-day average, depending on the date. So we have to keep our eye on those metrics. And because there is a metric, should the region go over or kind of hit that trigger point, we need to be prepared to resume distance learning all over again.
Whitaker says once a plan is finalized at the end of the month, the school will release details to the public. The governor says in the first week of August, state leaders will decide if it's safe for schools to return to session. Now, last week, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention released new guidelines for educators. Those recommend keeping students in pods and having teachers stay with that same group of children. They also advise keeping broader recommendations such as social distancing, face masks wearing, and hand washing. Now, when asked how the CDC guidelines could influence New York's decision, the governor says it all depends on whether the virus is under control.